Hi guys, how are you? It's Arthi and Happy New Year. I hope 2018 is really good for you guys so far or is going really well. I guess that's probably the right way to say it, right? um, and I am sorry for my absence. I've been gone for I think almost a month now exactly. And I don't know why, but somehow I forgot to mention to people that I would be away for a while. And now I'm back, and not that anyone necessarily missed me, but I did miss you guys, and I'm excited to be back onto YouTube. I guess I could say I was like far, far away somewhere, not lost, but I was just in a land far away, and now I've come back to reality, which is not always fun, but oh well, that's how it is. So there you go. All right, so for today's video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about dry skin, and specifically about dry skin on the hands. And if you live in a cold climate, unfortunately, like I do right now, I don't like it. But anyway, I live in a cold climate and I have to deal with dry skin a lot, especially on the hands, not so much anywhere else. And, you know, it just is such a pain because, you know, the winter can be so long. And as you start aging, your hands just don't seem to maintain the same amount of moisture. And I have two lotions, or no, hand cream lotions that, no, that's not right. No, two hand creams that I'm going to show you, and hopefully you could maybe pick from one and it might help you. And I'll tell you which one is my favorite, and I'll get started with showing you them right now. All right, now these are the two, yes, they are competitors because they're from two completely different companies. We have the Vaseline one here. I'll hold it closer. I hope you guys can see it okay, because I didn't really set the autofocus that well. And I'm sorry if it's dark in here because I just didn't do all the lighting setups today. I just didn't have the time. It's just kind of crazy. Now the next one is Gold Bond, and I do like both of these. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown or a little info on both before I start talking about them. Now they are both 3 ounces each, and I bought both of these at the drugstore. And this, for some reason, well, with both of them, I don't know why, but for some reason, they don't sell it in a larger quantity. This is the only size that I have found so far. And I don't know if it's because there's not enough of a demand for these two lotions. I think people maybe just prefer like a body lotion that they could just use everywhere instead of just specifically for the hands. And, you know, unlike me, I do need something for my hands all the time. And so that was a little disappointing with these. And I did look on Amazon. I checked 3 different stores and I could not find them, you know, in a bigger size. And with this Vaseline one, this one is really difficult to find anywhere. I mean, every store that I looked in did not have this at all. I actually bought this one back in, well, last month in December. And since then I have not been able to get it anywhere. Not even on Amazon, really. It is kind of expensive on Amazon sometimes. And that's one thing that I just have to say right off the bat, I think is a little bit of a drawback with these. I just wish that they would make them in a bigger size because sometimes we really need to have more of it. Now let me see which one I will start with. I guess I'll start with the Gold Bond, the Healing Hand Cream. Now this one is meant to give you like, well, they both moisturize, of course, but this one has what they call positive ion technology, and they have a special blend of moisturizers. There's a humectant in there, and I have to say I'm sorry, I don't know exactly what that is or how it works, but they have their own formula that they use to help you moisturize your hands. And what it does is that it helps you to maintain your moisture balance, and it will even last through hand washing. So as you go through the day, even if you have to get your hands wet several times, your hands are not going to dry out right away. It's going to form like a protective seal or barrier to kind of keep or to lock in whatever moisture the hand cream has given you in the first place, which is very good. And I can attest to the fact that it does work because I do wash my hands quite a bit sometimes, and I don't feel anything coming off, and my hands feel very soft. Now, let me just tell you a little bit about, I guess, the application and how all of that goes. So this one, right, is, well, I don't know why I'm just going to show it to you like this. It is really a nice lotion in the fact that it's very creamy and it smells good. It's very lightly scented. It's nothing overpowering. And when you put it on your hands, it's very smooth. It's easy to rub on. It's not like with some lotions or, you know, creams are more water-based. And when you put it on your hands, you can kind of tell that it's not spreading as easily as you'd like it to. But that's not the case with this. This one is just perfect. You can just run it all over your hands with no issue whatsoever as far as that goes. The only thing is that as you like keep, you know, as you go like this, keep rubbing it on your hands, and as it starts to dry up, it begins to flake. I don't know exactly why it does that. And at first I thought maybe I'm just rubbing my hands together, you know, maybe it's just the action that I'm using is too hard, but it really wasn't that, because I tried it over several days and it does flake towards the end as it absorbs into your skin. And, you know, it's not that the flaking is necessarily a problem all the way through, because once your hands dry up, it does go away, but you kind of look like you have dandruff on your hands for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then, you know, you kind of have to go like this and just keep like rubbing your hands and just trying to like wipe everything off, which is a little annoying, because if you put lotion or cream on, you just want it to absorb and then just, you know, wait 5 to 10 minutes and just have everything sort of disappear into your skin and not worry about it. And so that's something that I was not really crazy about. And I did give this lotion, this Gold Bond, to my husband. I think it was the day after Christmas, and he was just so annoyed by it right away. He was like, no, he's like, I'm going to go rinse my hands off. Give me something else if you have it, because I'm not using this anymore. But, okay, but I guess that would be the one thing that I was not a fan about, just that whole, you know, flaky, gross stuff that happened. But, you know, but once it absorbs and it's in your skin, everything is fine. And I did notice that it will maintain your skin's moisture for at least a good 2 days after you've used it. So even if you're washing your hands throughout that time, your hands will definitely feel softer and everything will be fine as far as that goes. Now, the thing is that once, you know, it does moisturize your skin, I noticed that it gives your skin more of like a matte finish or look. It doesn't create like a healthy shine or like a youthful glow to your hands. It will just be kind of like a flat, moisturized, you know, no more dry patches kind of appearance, which, you know, it's not always, or it's not necessarily a bad thing. It just depends on how, you know, or what's important to you as far as like lotion or hand cream is concerned. That's it for the Gold Bond. Now I'll move on to this one. I'm actually done with this Vaseline hand cream, but I'm just holding on to it because I'm just desperate to find it somewhere else. And I'm not going to throw this out until I get my hands on more. Now this one is, of course, with Wonder Jelly, or petroleum, as some people would call it. I guess just depends on where you live. Or the nickname is Wonder Jelly, because when I went to the Vaseline website, that's how they refer to it. And this has micro droplets of the petroleum jelly. If you can see, I don't know if you can really tell. See, they put like little drops on the tube, so you can get a sense of what it looks like. And this is their very, very rich formula. They have quite a few lotions and creams to choose from in the Vaseline line. But of course, if you're going for this one for the hands, you're definitely going to end up with the one that's on, you know, the rich side as far as like the level of moisturization you're going to get. Now, it's very, very good. I actually prefer this one overall compared to the Gold Bond. And the reason is because I just feel like the power of the Vaseline in this hand cream is just really unbeatable. I mean, just the way that it makes your hands look after about 2 to 3 days is just, you know, just amazing. Now, the application with this one is the same as with the Gold Bond. It's very easy to put on. It's smooth. It goes on nicely. The one thing with it is that because it's Vaseline, it does feel a little bit greasy. I mean, you can't use too much of it because a little bit goes a long way. You just need about maybe, not even, I would say probably about, not a pea-size amount, but maybe a little more than that. And that should be enough to spread it across your hands. Because if you use too much of it, which I did the first couple of days, when you get it onto your hands, you're going to feel like, or your hands are going to look like you just dipped them in oil, which is really gross. And then you're going to have like an excess and you're going to have to rub it off, you know, somewhere like on your arms, or just go rinse your hands off and start all over again. So when you do use this one, just start or if you decide to use this one, just start with a little bit, and that will be more than enough to get you started. And then once you get it on your hands, you just rub it through, and it's very smooth, and it's not scented. At least this one, I don't think it is. Yeah, this one is unscented. I don't know what the scented one is like. So it goes on nicely, and then, it just instantly will start to smooth your hands. It just tackles all of the dry patches right away, which is something I don't like with some lotions, because you have to really work the lotion into the dry patches. But with the Vaseline, that's not an issue. As soon as you put it on your hands, it'll just absorb everywhere, like, in between your fingers and your thumbs and everything. It's, it's good, but because it is slightly greasy, I did find that it takes a little while for it to kind of absorb and dry up on your skin. I think it took, for me, probably a good 10 minutes. I don't know if that's just because my hands are just really dry, or if that's just the way the lotion is just meant to work. But I just didn't want to wait 10 minutes. There were a couple of times where I had to go out, and I just didn't have the patience for it. But if you give yourself enough time to get the lotion on to your hands and let it start working, you'll be okay. You won't have to worry about spending time and waiting for it to activate and start working. Now this also promises, like the Gold Bond, that it will stay on your skin and it will create like a nice barrier, and it will last through hand washing, which it definitely does. I found that this one does a better job, or slightly better job, the Vaseline, as far as creating the barrier every time you wash your hands, because I didn't have any dry patches showing up. Because I don't know if you're like me, but especially like in this part of my hand where my thumbs are, I get a lot of dryness, and if I wash my hands a lot, that's like one of the first places where the dryness will show up. But the Vaseline kind of killed that whole effect, and it just kept my hands very smooth and soft throughout. And one thing that I really love about the Vaseline too is that it just gives your skin like this life that it never had before if you have very dry hands. Because I noticed right here on this side of my hand that after a couple of days that my skin was actually starting to look very shiny, and it started to look supple and soft. My hands actually looked like they were younger, or, not like old looking. They're like younger looking hands. It gave it like a, really nice sheen, which was something that is always good, because you want to have kind of like that, that youthful energy to your skin, because otherwise if it's just flat, it's going to look like it's mature skin, which no one really wants. And that was one thing that was a big plus with the Vaseline, and that was one of the things that is going to make me want to go out and buy more. And once I get more of this, I'm going to continue to use this. But but all in all, these two are both very, very good lotions. I guess you could just select one based on your needs, and just depending on how dry your hands are, where you're starting and where you want to end up. But they will work very well. I think I would say for the winter, the Vaseline is probably way better, especially if you're in a very cold climate. And then for more like the spring, or even in the summer, if you just want to moisturize your hands, and in the autumn or the fall season, the Gold Bond should work just as well. You just might need to use a little more of the Gold Bond, if it's like really, really cold outside, but that's about it. But otherwise, they both get a thumbs up, and I hope that you guys will go out and choose one of them, and just let me know what you think, if you like one or the other. And that's it. So thank you for watching, and I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye.